What's your reaction to the Browns trading for Deshaun Watson?
They made a mistake, Sel. They made a mistake. It's not the getting of Deshaun Watson. It's what it costs them to get him. And look, I just went through this very same temptation on both sides of the equation. There was a truck that I've been wanting to get for months. Haven't been able to get it. Hasn't been on the market. Isn't available.
Ooh.
And then suddenly I saw that there was one out there. And I called the dealership. I'm like, you got this truck? And they're like, yeah, we got this truck. I said, look, I want it. They're like, you want to come down and sit? No, I want it. They go, it's not here yet. I want it. So I go down to the dealership, and I want to close it before it hits market. And I know what the MSRP is. I know what it's listed as. And when we get down to the paperwork, they want to jack the price through the roof.
Damn right.
Because they know that they have a very valuable asset. If I don't buy it, somebody else will. So I have to say, I'm going to pass on that truck. Now, on the other side, I was also looking at a box of cigars that I badly wanted. And there's an auction site where you can go. And I'd missed out on this same box of cigars the previous 2 times it had been on there. And I'm now bidding with a guy who took the last box of cigars. And I'm like, there is no way in hell I am losing out on this box of cigars this time. I don't care what price I have to pay. And ultimately, I got the box of cigars, but I paid that price. What the Cleveland Browns have done, essentially, is that they have paid the highest price for a truck in the history of trucks. And they haven't even driven it yet. They don't even know exactly how that truck drives and how it's going to fit into the equation of what they need for driving purposes. So I get it. I just was there, Sellis. I know that feeling of, we know the list of quarterbacks that they've gone through and that have fallen short and that they haven't been able to get. And here they made the fatal mistake of saying to Deshaun Watson's agent, David Mulligetta, when he was like, yeah, Cleveland, you know, we're looking over here. David, what would it take to get your client into a Cleveland Browns uniform? And David told them, and unfortunately, they bit and they agreed to it. And it's going to cost them massively down the line. And they bought something that they don't even know exactly what its worth is. They just paid premium price for it.
Damn, Slick. Man, now you can't smoke in your truck because you ain't got no truck with your cheap ass. Here's the thing.
That's right.
Oh, man. Slick, you got to tell us what kind of truck it was. Suzuki Samurai or Sidekick? Which one was it?
Very nice. Very nice. You know what? You're heading in the right direction.
Yeah? Oh, you're not going to tell us because you ain't got it. I get it. But let's talk about Deshaun.
That's right.
Let's talk about Deshaun Watson because the Cleveland Browns did get Deshaun Watson. And they didn't pay too much for Deshaun Watson in comparison to what they were paying for Baker Mayfield. And I'm not just talking about in price tag. I'm talking about in terms of emotionally what this franchise was going through. I'm talking about in terms of what our limits are with Baker Mayfield. I'm talking about what our potential could be without Baker Mayfield. They didn't pay too much for Deshaun Watson. You make it seem like the Cleveland Browns got tricked. Well, there's an old saying in that rap community that it ain't tricking if you got it. And the Cleveland Browns got it, and now they got their man. So now they can go out there according to plan. Do you imagine how frustrated you have to be if you're the Cleveland Browns? Knowing that you have taken care of business on both sides of the football, knowing that you have a ready-made roster that could be a Super Bowl contender, but at the most important position, you have a former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick who somehow, some way, continues to underachieve. Now you look at him versus a Deshaun Watson, and you start to realize you're going to get exactly what you paid for. You didn't get what you wanted out of Baker Mayfield? Let's be real. Still on that rookie contract. Got his 5th-year option, which is still on the cheap. But it's going to cost to be the boss. And you got to pay for Deshaun Watson. When you have a roster that is 4th in the league in their running attack and 5th in the league on defense, that means everything surrounding you, if you're Deshaun Watson now, is ready to go out there and win it all. It's on Deshaun Watson to go out there and be who Deshaun Watson is, which is not Baker Mayfield. Let's compare those two, completion percentage, since they've been in the league. Deshaun Watson, #2 in the NFL. Baker Mayfield, 18th. Passer rating, 4th. Deshaun Watson. Baker Mayfield, 18th. Something about that number when he turns an adult. Yards per attempt, number 1 versus Baker Mayfield, still in the teens at 13. They're two different animals. And now you're going to be able to see this team unlock that cage and go out there and live up to its potential. Now I got to bring in my dog Fox NFL analyst, TJ Houshmandzadeh right here. So TJ, tell us, what was your reaction to Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns?
Ford Raptor, Rick. I don't know what type of truck you were driving, but they just got a nice Ford Raptor. You can go off-road or you can roll on the freeway, the street, however you want. So let's just talk about, Marcellus is talking about completion percentage, passer rating. Let's go even deeper. Let's talk NFL history, Rick. Who has the highest completion percentage in the history of the league as a quarterback? One, Deshaun Watson. We're not just talking of players today. We're talking NFL history. Let's go passer rating, Rick. He's number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes. We're not talking players that are playing today. We're talking the history of the National Football League in Deshaun Watson. So you can say they fleeced the Houston Texans. They want to win. They feel they have all the pieces. This is coming full circle for Cleveland because I'm very close with Hugh Jackson. He wanted to draft Deshaun Watson. He wasn't allowed to. So now they get him. And you can just, his last full season plan, completion percentage, Deshaun Watson, National Football League first. Passing yards, Deshaun Watson first. Passing touchdowns, Deshaun Watson first. Passer rating, Deshaun Watson first. Deshaun Watson is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And so that automatically makes the Cleveland Browns a contender. How many games will he be suspended? We don't know if he will be suspended at all. But the Cleveland Browns won this trade, and Deshaun Watson is going to show and prove that. But props to Mulligetta, best agent in the game with that contract. Kudos to you, my brother.
Yeah, and look, that's my thing. I'm not questioning. I've been a Deshaun Watson fan. In terms of his ability to get it done, I believe he has that it factor, not just in terms of the statistics and the passer rating, but the ability to perform in big moments. So in the prism of, did they get a quarterback that can make them a contender and make all the pieces fit? Absolutely. Did they get a quarterback that is far better than Baker Mayfield? Absolutely. It's the price that they paid to get that quarterback. You guys know there's a salary cap in the NFL. And as much as we may not have any questions about Deshaun Watson on the field, we certainly have them off it. We don't know how many, to your point, we don't know how many games he's going to be suspended. We don't know if anything else is going to come up with Deshaun Watson. And if it does, the Cleveland Browns have no out. There is no forfeiture for anything. It is guaranteed to what, $248 million guaranteed for that 5 years. Like there's no option to get off of this. And there are enough questions about Deshaun Watson and his availability. That's why I say it's all risk, why it's so high risk. They pushed all their chips into the middle of the table. And to your point, Marcellus, yeah, I do believe Baker Mayfield has an influence on this. They were so tired of the Baker Mayfield roller coaster. They're like, oh, we see the real deal. Like, how much is it going to cost us to get the real deal? We'll pay anything to get the real deal. Well, I'm telling you guys, when you sometimes go to that point where you're willing to pay anything to get that thing you've coveted for so long, there are times where you end up paying too much and you get your thing, but it doesn't work out exactly the way you had hoped.
Oh, man, look, I know we're on camera. I know we're on television. I know millions and millions of people worldwide are watching this, recording this, but I still got to speak my truth candidly. Y'all know me for a long time, even in my single days. Let's talk about those single days, because I had a reputation with a lot of people I dated that once the relationship ended, I mean that moment, like right now, 12-something in the studio, that night I'm going out, and that night I'm getting it in. You want to know why? Because for too damn long while we've been arguing and thinking about breaking up, and finally we pulled the trigger, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm going to let the world know. So that night, it was going to tax me because I was going to spend it. I was going to go out there and go get it. I'm at the club. Oh, yeah, it's all on me because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired knowing what I have been missing out on. That's what the Cleveland Browns did. It's okay. The salary cap went up $25 million this year. It has gone up every single year the past decade except 1 year because of the pandemic. Don't do them like that, Slick. And don't come out with this scared mindset talking about what else could happen with Deshaun Watson? What else could come down the pipeline? Hey, wasn't he accused of about 41 different women at one time and still has 22 civil lawsuits and is still got a fully guaranteed $230 million contract? You know what that tells me? Ain't nothing worse gonna happen to this dude. And even if it does, it's not gonna have the impact on him because look what he's been able to tow all the way to the Cleveland Browns, which brings me to a point about his agent, David Mulugeta. Boy, you out here eating because you're out here working it. No matter what cards you give David right now, this is a prime time for him to cash in for his clients. Give him a bad hand, he's still going to play them cards well, and I respect that. These are trying times right now. It's almost like David is ready, if you want to, organization, to have that real nuanced, delicate eggshell conversation that right now, because of the racial issues in the NFL or tensions in society, people don't want to have. So in a world where it's about player empowerment, in a world where no one wants a Cap 2.0 on their watch, no one wants the Kaepernick situation, we saw Pete Carroll talking out of both sides of his mouth, stumbling over every single word. Well, you know, Cap deserves an opportunity. I don't know if it's on this team. I don't know if it's in the NFL. I don't know if it's playing football. That's the point. And you see David just sitting there, calm, cool, collected, flexing in those moments to get a player with 22 civil lawsuits, the most fully guaranteed contract in NFL history. I just got to give him his props, and I also want people to take notice of what that is. So, Slick, TJ, we know nothing worse can happen to Deshaun Watson because, frankly, since there's no criminal charges against him, the worst is behind him.
Hey, Rick, let me ask you this really quick. When you say they gave up too much to get him, is it the draft capital or is it the contract?
No.
Which one is it?
No. It's the contract. To me, it was a game of chicken. We don't want to go to Cleveland. David McGull's like, well, no, we got other options. We're not going to Cleveland. And Cleveland basically said, what is it going to take? And they gave them everything and then some. We've never seen a contract, never mind the amount of money. There's no option to get out of this. If he gets hurt, if whatever happens, they have tied themselves to Deshaun Watson. And to your point, Marcellus, this ain't about you going out to the club after you've given up on the last relationship and decided to have a good time. Man. This is you going out to the club and then going to Vegas and getting married and saying, we're guaranteed. I'm going to sign the prenup. We're getting it together, and I'm guaranteeing you 5 years. All in.
Hey, they don't know. Y'all don't know Marcellus Wiley. Y'all don't know Marcellus Wiley 15, 20 years ago. I can't even tell the story when I first met him. He don't remember it, but I do. I can't tell that on here. But I truly, when you look at this, the Cleveland Browns are going to show everybody, and it's really Deshaun Watson, how great of a trade this really is going to be. Because what Marcellus just said, gambling money now in the NFL, the salary cap is going to continue to rise.
Yes.
You got Amari Cooper, that offensive line, Nick Chubb, that defense. That division is tough. It's not easy. And the Cleveland Browns knew exactly what they were doing. They looked around. Man, Cincinnati has gotten better. Baltimore is going to be good, and Pittsburgh is always good. Everybody talking about the AFC West. We need to compete in our division. And by giving him that Deshaun Watson is young. Not only will he see all of this contract, he's going to get another one. I hate to see how you're going to feel about that one. He's getting another one. And this is just the beginning. And so I applaud the Cleveland Browns. No criminal charges for Deshaun Watson. And once again, David Mulugeta, best agent in the game. He did his thing with this.
Got to say that. Got to respect that. Look, Deshaun Watson is going to an organization that only had one quarterback in their history throw for over 30 passing touchdowns. Think about that. You got to go back to 1980, last time you saw a quarterback that prolific and getting the ball in the end zone 4. Yeah, I know. Even Bernie Kosar, isn't that crazy?
Marcellus.
Going way back, yeah.
What's that?
Uh-oh, BS.
I smell, what is that? No. Oh, I smell desperation.
Oh, you smell desperation? Well, Desperate times calls for desperate measures. When you're 27th ranked in your passing offense and 20th in points scored, yeah, I think we kind of desperate, and I ain't scared to show it. Like those nights when I broke up with you know who.